It's I guess technically I'm streaming already, so I should probably be talking a little bit, but I don't have a draft lull and I don't have. I just wanted to make sure the stream is actually going to be up.
Yeah.
I don't. I think that's a ninja cat emoji.
On
On, I don't know what I just put in Discord or in the lobby.
oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah. Who do we have here? We have Fire Ass Mixtape and IQ Dead Zone. We should be live now. Um,
you mean 3 minutes ago? A bus should be live now.
yeah. Can I change the name of the YouTube live stream as it's going on from my
Not
Fancy
from
Pants
OBS, I
account?
don't think.
Yeah, but I think I can do it here. Um, this is not made for kids, I guess. Probably. And then just checking Twitch. Yeah, we're live. Um, Put a link in watch party.
That's good because I want to look at that separately, so you don't have to worry about streaming it over.
Mhm. I kind of feel like I should just stop streaming and start again, and then we'll get a usable VOD
I
for the
mean, the
beginning.
whole thing is usable. It's just the front of it's.
Yeah.
That's why Twitch is superior, because you can just highlight and take out the garbage beginning.
Yeah. I think I can do that on YouTube.
I don't even
Maybe.
know if like I think at one point I got added as like an editor to the channel, but I don't use YouTube enough to like
Yeah.
know where to actually go do that.
I just pulled it up and like changed the title. Looks like we're readying up on the draft here though, so
I don't know much about Fire Ass Mix. Wait, is it Fire Ass Mix type?
mixtape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Just I'm stupid.
Yeah. So we've got IQ Dead Zone, who are some of the friendliest members of the beer league, and then we've got Fire Ass Mixtape, who has Commissioner Elias, but otherwise everyone else on that team are all just some of his friends.
Completely new to the beer league this season.
You
Is Bone Grid still part of IQ and is subbed out, or is
I will take a look.
because I thought he was still part of it.
Yeah,
And they just
looks
have
like
Jubilee in right now, and then they have.
Gentle Criminal is subbed in for him right now.
Oh, okay.
We're already through bands. So Samira banned away from Celestial Vixen. I know very little about FAM, but I do know that Celestial Vixen pops off on Samira a lot. Gangplank banned away. I don't know who their top laner is. I should pull that up. To be honest,
I believe
good loss.
Ratameru's mid.
Yep.
And then Sloppy Froppy was probably jungle then?
Yes. And then Thresh banned away from Elias. I think that's a good ban. Although Super Noob is a very good Thresh player, but looking like they wanted to prioritize the Nunu, which is interesting.
Safe and effective.
Yeah.
Although Fam has responded with a Jinx pick, and Jinx is really, really strong right now. And then Lux, which could probably go support or could go mid. I don't know everyone's pools necessarily, but I do know that Nunu absolutely hates Lux because she binds him as he snowballs in, and then he can't do anything.
Yeah. I think Elias has been playing a lot of support Lux.
All right. I mean, it is pretty effective, and it's actually like one of those kind of damage supports that is actually also kind of a support.
Mm-hmm.
As insane as that is.
And so then Corki locked in here probably for Richie in the mid lane. Possibly other than Elias, I think he's probably the boomeriest player in the beer league playing since season 1. So his champion pool is pretty wide. So even though his Twisted Fate and Tryndamere both got banned away, he's just gonna fall back to this meta slave champion of Corki, and responded to with Victor, which is like the current de facto pro play mid lane matchup.
Gross.
I'm wondering about the Camille ban from FAM. That is one of Bone Garud's best champions, but he is out, and so I'm wondering if Gentle Criminal plays it, or if they maybe just missed the memo.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We're getting a Kled ban. That hasn't
Okay.
been banned too many times ever in Beer League
Well,
until twice this season now, and then once last season.
yeah.
And then Nautilus and Janna, pretty solid Scion bans.
So top lane focus from IQ and bot lane or support focus from Fan. Getting rid of Janna, who I think is really strong on this patch, supposedly.
Yeah, she's been changed around so that a lot of her identity is a little more around her shielding, and then I think kind of like her disengage with her Q versus just like poking the heck out of people with W. I've heard that she has some pretty like if you fall back to like a typical build of like Shirelia's, it's probably not as good as going like Moonstone or something, since she's going to be dishing out shields more often, or buffs, and that she gets amping or she gets heal and shield power when she CCs somebody or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Also, a Janna like ban might be nice if you are opting to pick Hecarim because she'll slow him down a bit, and that makes the pony sad.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Seraphine pick here. I'm guessing that's Seraphine support, although we have seen Richie play it, so this could be the infamous Corky top.
Never mind.
Yeah, I didn't really think it was going to be, but I see a lot of squishy champions on the side of IQ into to Lux and Jinx and Victor. Um, so if one of those champions gets popped, Jinx is gonna get excited, and that
Rip
could
through.
be pretty dangerous. Looking at Fam's comp, that's a bit more of a standard, if you will, like front to back team fight. It looks like,
Yeah.
whereas IQ has to play sort of all over the place to.
Yeah, I was thinking that IQ, since they have the Ezreal, the Corki, and now it's Seraphine, right? They kind of want to be sitting back and poking, and then Seraphine's there to provide kind of some in the middle uh, support, and then like the long range, peel or engage with the ulti if she's able to bounce it off of her teammates. But so I would think that the Nunu's great to hold up part of that front line to allow for the poke, but I definitely think the Gwen might be a little difficult to maintain that. She doesn't really want to be sitting up front. She wants to be flanking, so it's going to be Nunu having to try and maintain like that entire front line and structure, which is going to be really hard, especially because Fam picked up Hecarim, and then I really like the Gnar pick actually. Hecarim's already going to dive into the back, but Gnar is going to be able to, if he's able to launch himself and mega out and then go directly into the back line, like he can just shove them all forward and they're not going to be where they want to be. So we'll see what the execution is of the Gnar and the Hecarim in this, and maybe IQ has a way to position themselves so that they won't have issues with that. But I definitely think the placement of people in team fights when setting up for objectives and trying to do the dragon dance or whatever is going to be really precarious.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think if that Gwen were some beefy frontliner, and you just give Corky and Ezreal the chance to shred, your team fights are a lot easier as IQ.
Yeah, even just something a little more bruisery, because Gwen doesn't really build right AP bruiser items. Lol. They kind of don't exist. She's a lot
Yeah.
more fragile because she has her little I don't take damage from you zone.
Yep. Now that being said, I feel like Gwen is a good pick into a champion like Lux. If you get bound, from a bush, you just drop your I'm invulnerable uh, zone, and you probably won't get burst out. And then like same thing, like Victor isn't really gonna want to get up in her face, and neither will Jinx.
Theoretically.
But that just means that those three will hopefully be, or will probably be focusing, the Squishier, the Seraphine, the Corki, and the Ezreal.
Hmm.
But I think if Corki and Gwyn can actually get those flanks that they kind of need to, like with the package, and
Yep.
they can take out Jinx and Victor early, I think IQ's got a shot. But I think scaling is actually probably pretty even. Corki does bonkers damage, and Ezreal is no slouch himself, but Jinx and Victor do insane damage, and Lux is just gonna go Luden. So it's like you've got a 3 carry comp over there on the side of Fam, and with the get excited passive, and with how strong Jinx is right now on this patch, Fam just needs that one pick to pop off in the team fight.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I do think that right, Jinx is probably going to be kind of part of the front to back. So I do think like if she does get that one kill or assist to start rolling through them, right, like a Runons would probably be pretty effective because some of these people are not like they're not really the longest range. They just have poke. They're kind of medium range in my opinion. So I think she would be able to kind of run at them with those crits and that speed eventually and start making them back off, which allows for time for the Lux or the Victor to start threatening some spells at like their movement that they need to do to get to disengage. I'm not really sure how like Gnar versus Gwen goes, but I think the top lane will probably be pretty important because if Gwen does not get ahead, then they're basically missing a champion. I feel like on IQ, she does not
yeah,
provide much if she's behind in this comp. Right? We were saying like she needs to be flanking, hopefully, to try and uh, cut through. Haha, someone on the back line. But like if she has no way of doing that, and she's not going to be durable in the front line in any capacity, really. I don't know what purpose she really serves. So she might have to resort to being a split pusher.
yeah, which is something that IQ has played fairly effectively in the previous season. They've had games where they've struggled with it, and then they've had games where they win just by pulling the other team around the map.
Yeah. So I think maybe then in that case, right, we've seen them struggle with lane assignments before in the past. So maybe they do need to, right, when the first tower goes down bot, you swap your top and your bot lane unless there's an objective coming up that needs your bot lane bot. Maybe they do need to work on that as soon as they can to allow for the Gwen to farm up as much as possible and then can start moving around the map in respective ways to foster a split push.
Yeah. I would guess that Gwen can dual Gnar pretty well once she gets like her leeching Leer, and then kind of I would guess through most of the game if she plays well around her W, which does mean to me like every other champion on Fam is really just going to be able to wave clear against her. So there might be a good 4-1 potential here for IQ.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I'm interested in like what the early like gank paths are going to be too. I think for jungles, Nunu is able to, he could level 2 gank if he wants to,
Mm-hmm.
pretty easily and generally very effectively if you're able to drive your snowball correctly. And Hecarim can still do some pretty cheeky stuff. I think Hecarim prefers like a full clear because his Q, AOE, and the ramping stacks is it's really important to maintain that as a as a Hecarim player. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, so Celestial Vixen, highest mastery in our team, 275,000 Jinx mastery. Jubilee on the Ezreal. He is new to IQ. Not too far behind in the Ezreal mastery. It is going to be the Seraphine support. Let's see. Nice. And we are now getting into game. Rearranging scoreboards. Pings going out from IQ. Looks like they just went to 5-point start to begin with. The Gwyn has TP Ignite, so there is no flash, which I think makes her kind of a vulnerable target to Hecarim ganks.
Yeah. And it's a little harder for, I mean, especially like when Gnar is able to mega out and actually has R, but right, they can knock her out of her initial W zone, and then she has to pull it to her, which is the second use, and then that's it. So if they can chain knocking her out of her zone or forcing her to use it, then they're actually able to get damage on her.
Yep.
We do have some first strikes on Corki and Ezreal.
Yeah.
Not on the Victor, because I think I've seen it on Victor before.
I think first strike on Ezreal this game into the Lux support is a mistake.
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a lot of time. Yeah, a really bad time trying to proc it. Airy for the Victor just gives him more poke damage. And he does go the Corrupting Pot. So he's looking to trade and get more damage out. Whereas Richie going the tier start means he's probably really just going to try and go for very, very short trades to proc first strike when
Here's
it's up.
an early Nunu gank.
Yep. Bot lane, not even level 2. Quick flash from Celestial Vixen. She gets exhausted. First blood going the way of Nunu. Man, I have not casted a game in 3 months, and it shows.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred that first blood on jungler is great because they can apply it everywhere on the map, right? Mm-hmm. But I do think that putting that on the Ezreal might have been more favorable because Ezreal is probably going to go a tier item. So he'd be able to back and grab his tier pretty quickly.
Yep.
In this case, that is not going to happen.
Now, I will say about that play, I feel like the high elo players, when I've heard them in VODs or getting feedback, so Elias and My Back is Sore, one of their biggest pieces of advice is always like flash early or don't flash at all. And we saw the bot lane do both of those with Celestial Vixen flashing early to get away from Nunu, and Elias just knowing he was dead at that point and saving his. So good to see good examples of what to do. But Elias does blow both summoners there trying to kill Jubilee, and Ezreal does make it out.
Yep, he did on that back by his tier, so he's ready to start stacking. So that's not too bad, but just with the farm and the assist gold.
Yeah. Looks like mid lane is going pretty even. Victor still has 2 charges though of his Corrupting Pot, so his mana problems aren't going to be quite as severe as Corki's.
Corki does have the tier though, so it's not a direct regen in the same way necessarily, but
yeah. All the solo laners opting for teleport with the 12.1 teleport changes. I think we're going to get more and more games here in the Beer League possibly where one or both of the solo laners opt not to take it in exchange for like a combat summoner. But with a champion like Victor, you know, your combat summoners aren't always necessary. And the root going down onto Ezreal, getting him trapped, but good trade back into Elias, who is low mana. Gnar turning Mega and being able to jump
ghosted
away.
for this.
Yeah, and looking to sub for LCS is doesn't care. There's the flash forward from Nunu. The ignite from Gentle Criminal going to cut down the Hecarim. I really wish that Riot's little doohickey here would work correctly. When I go to the Teamfight UI, it pops up the timeline.
Oh, that is actually awful.
Yeah, really annoying. So off to a good start here from IQ, which I think they kind of need, because I think the team fights will go the way of Fan if they're even. Gentle Criminal staying a bit too long. Gnar jumping in. Gnar having to flash out, and now it's a question of can he walk out, and he can't. A good dash over the wall with another Q from Gwyn will get her second kill of the game, and she should be able to push this wave into tower and force the TP out from Gnar. So Nunu already level 5, going to clear out his raptors and probably head to wolves. Hecarim, a camp up actually, but with the death, he is still behind in XP.
Yeah, he's a camp up probably because Nunu took time for that bot gank.
Yep. Early roam here from Super Noob on the Seraphine, just maybe dropping that pink ward up topside for the Rift Herald coming up in a minute and 10 seconds. But won't get anything out of the Victor. Hecarim stops hitting the Scuttle Crab to take the ward, and Super Noob looking to steal it.
Oh.
He steals it with the Q. Hecarim gonna have to run back to his blue buff and settle for that. Lux is now potentially vulnerable, but they will run away. Gentle Criminal going for the ulti onto Good Loss, misses the second one and doesn't have anything to chop yet, so nothing going to happen out of that. Just a little bit of trade damage. And this is going to be a Nashor's Toothrush?
Yeah, I think it's an Asher's Rush. That's pretty... I don't know. I wouldn't say I know like frequency, but it's definitely an item that some people do rush on Gwen, I believe, because the more autos you can fit in, the more often you can queue with max stacks. And maybe maybe she doesn't. I mean, I always, I don't know, maybe because I don't play AP Bruisers, but like the itemization for Riftmaker always feels so awful. Leeching Lair does not offer that much, in my opinion.
Big trade coming out of bot lane.
Nunu's
Here,
back
Nunu
again.
is here. Both bot laners have summoners. Elias not going to blow flash. Celestial Vixen does. The Q missing from Ezreal might make this too dangerous. One more auto. He will go down for it. Misses one too many Qs to make that a clean 2-for-0. But I think with the trade going down now onto Victor, this should be a setup for an IQ drag if they turn. The snowball stopping the ghosted Hecarim from getting in there. They are on Vision, and Lux is coming back, so he might look for something here.
Yeah, this Hecarim does have ulti.
Unfortunately, IQ looking for the Victor means they will actually maybe give up the drag here if Hecarim chooses to start it.
Yeah, I think it's probably not giving it up yet, but it definitely, like, it would have been a great opportunity to take it. Nunu might find himself in trouble here.
Yeah, looking to sub for LCS, going a little bit too ham with an out of mana Corki. Um, Richie's teleport is almost up, so I think that's when we'll see the reset out of him.
Yeah, Hecarim is sort of suspiciously waiting for this drag.
Yeah.
But maybe this is going to turn into a gank on the Ezreal, who is not running in a favorable direction.
No, but huge damage coming down onto Elias. Might be in kill range for the Seraphine. It is. A flash forward from Super Noob will trade Elias's flash going down there anyway. So now there's a TP from Corki, probably with the package. Nunu taking away the Hecarim's Raptors. They just miss Victor, but now they're going to go in onto Hecarim. They know he has no ult. Huge damage. What the hell was that? Corki damage.
Yeah, he's got his Manamune. Nunu is actually top. This is the snowball. I've never done that my entire life.
Yeah, root going down, but a good flash out from Mininar.
Still no opportunity to take the dragon yet.
No, at this point, I think Nunu could just take the Herald instead.
Nope, we're going by.
There is a lot of control on the blue side river
go
here.
Straight down this.
But fighting still going on. Elias has no flash. The ultimate from Seraphine going to clip him right at the end. Richie does get stunned up into the Victor ulti. Hecarim keeps going forward. The Super Mega Death Rocket misses. Jubilee has joined the fight with Ezreal. Richie on a killing spree now as he manages to kill the horse. This should now finally be IQ's first dragon of the game here at 11 minutes. And IQ 9 kills to 2, 3,000 gold lead at 11 minutes.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for them. You know, they had to waffle around a little, but like, I mean, they didn't lose anything while, you know, we were expecting like, oh, this would have been a great dragon opportunity. They didn't really lose out on anything else. They were still proactively making moves, right? Nunu zooming top, blowing Nars flash, then zooming back down to pick up the next thing.
Yeah.
So it's not really a loss, and really it just delays like how likely it is for Fam to also be able to stack dragons or something.
Yep. And even on top of not losing anything, you know, Nunu cleared out the Raptors there from Hecarim. And so Hecarim's stuck doing his Krugs, and he has a Gromp up. There's no vision on the Rift Herald side of the map for Fam either. There's just really no vision anywhere right now on the map for them.
Yeah, Nunu is like obviously bot, so this could be an opportunity for Hecarim to take the Rift Herald. But, you know, Gwen is 2-0. It's probably a little too strong to just solo it in case she wanders down, which she's currently doing.
Hecarim eing forward now, just going to hit the Scuttle Crab and break the shield. Gentle Criminal probably going to come over the wall and look for this. You can see Corki coming up on the map. Victor also trying to join.
Smite, so he can't really just secure the Scuttle Crab either.
Yeah. Corki going in, the ghost blown from Hecarim to get him out. Victor coming around the wall with Super Noob on his tail. There is a Seraphine ulti coming up in 1 second. We're going to see it right here. 2-man Seraphine ulti into the 2-man full Nunu channel. Looking to sub for combo. LCS gets another kill for himself, and Richie now on the rampage. 4-0 at 13 minutes, which is not what you want to see if you're Fire Ass Mixtape.
I've never considered that combination of just leading the people back into your Nunu ulti with Seraphine ult, but that was disgusting, and I hope I see it again.
It's the it's like old Galio ulti, but with 2 champions. So Rift Herald being picked up here now by IQ. No plates down, I think, at all.
Ever. Yeah.
There's one plate down in bot lane for the side of Fam. So this Rift Herald, we don't expect it to really get first tower. But we don't, you know, Fam's not going to be able to take it and use it to get themselves back in the game either. So what do they do now to try and stem the bleeding here?
I mean, I think right if the Rift Herald goes down, there's a lot of focus there. I think you're just gonna have to give the tower that it's aimed at this point. I think that IQ is pretty ahead here comparatively. The Seraphine has been roaming way more than the Lux has, and like I think
Yep.
that's detrimental.
Nunu landing a snowball now onto Gnar. Gnar has no flash, and the hop got canceled, so Gentle Criminal getting his 3rd kill of the game. Gnasher's Tooth completed, and this is where I expect them to drop the Herald, and for sure, nobody's up there.
Yeah, and giving that to the Gwen, who's already very ahead of her lane opponent. It's definitely not bad. Like, it feels like bot.
Flash forward from Super Noob. He hits the 2-man ulti.
Oh my god.
Richie is now here. Super Noob so fast he walks around the Lux laser.
Corki damage
Unexpected engaged support there from
yeah.
from the Seraphine. Flashing over the traps. Nunu coming right in onto a... I'm not even going to try and say his name. Aratameru. All right, I tried to say his name. And just feeding another kill over the way of Corki, who will be going the Ludens build.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so I think that bot lane, for the most part, a lot of action, right, with the Seraphine roaming. I think Lux has been a little late on the responses to the roams, unfortunately. So it's really been just Jinx versus Ezreal farming a lot of the time. But Ezreal has obviously started to benefit a little more due to the occasional Nunu gank. Dragon is coming up here pretty soon. It is up right now, and I mean, IQ they have all 5 of them moving down.
Yeah, here comes Corki right in there. The package one-shots Hecarim. That's just unfair.
Yeah, I mean, since Hecarim rushed the cooldown boots, which I don't think is wrong per se, right? Junglers rushing cooldown boots, it's very beneficial for them, but he is very squishy.
Nunu's still going, looking to sub for LCS, caught behind the static field. Did the gravity well?
To go mega. They could possibly re-engage if they're able to catch anyone, but doesn't seem like it.
I just think they're out of damage at this point. The Victor ulti down, the Lux laser down. So, yeah, unfortunately just a little too slow to the play again here for FAM. And that will be second drag going the way of IQ, and this is now a Cloud Rift, which you hate to see when there's an enemy Nunu on the team.
I mean, Hecarim benefits from it, but this one maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's still going like a Sunderer build. He does have the Conqueror, but what we've noticed is that he's not living long enough to make use of the Conqueror.
Yep.
So I wonder if, I think he had bought the Sheen pretty early, so there's not really a great way to transition that into maybe a Bami's build into like Chem Tank. But hopefully after that, maybe it's like Sterix is the only bruiser item, and then maybe it's like pretty much pure tank items at this point.
Hecarim looking for camps to take, but all the camps on his side of the jungle are completely empty. Now they're looking for a play onto Gentle Criminal. He jumps over the wall, a huge 600 gold shutdown going the way of Gnar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 3 more shutdowns on the map. Celestial Vixen caught out here, has the flash, but we'll save it.
This should be bot turret for IQ.
Yep. Victor flashing over the wall, soloing out the Corki with, I think, a Lux shield, getting Lux the assist. And that's going to be mid lane tower going down. So this is actually a huge swing.
The objective bounties are active for FAM.
Yep.
Nunu is just gonna pass right through.
Nunu just gonna casually 1v3, blows up the Lux, and Gentle Criminal is now here with Super Noob, a double root. Mega Gnar is here, gets exhausted. The rocket not going to get any execute damage. Gentle Criminal 1 shot away from death, but a triple kill now for the Gwyn. You maybe killed her once, but she comes back with the unleashed teleport and triple kills you right back. I wanna shout out Super Noobs again. He has been roaming really well on this champion, and I was gonna say during champion select, like, I was a little bit worried about that because, you know, a Seraphine going out to ward alone or something and face checking a Lux, that,
Kind of dangerous.
yeah, very dangerous.
Oh, there's the Gwen interaction
Yep.
we were gonna see.
But yeah, I mean, he is so strong. The Moonstone completed. He's hit so many double roots and multi-man ultimates. He's given Jubilee the opportunity to take that tower solo.
Oh, almost steals the blue buff.
Hecarim 2 levels down on the Nunu, and I think that's been like the biggest game changer this game is just Nunu. Another 2-man ulti coming out from Seraphine into the Nunu ulti. Victor is here looking to drop the ulti, but there's nothing to keep them in it except Nunu's own BM. There's a big stack of 3, and Gwyn might still go in. Looks like they're calling it off as Drags. Oh, fat fingered the pause button. No worries.
Yeah.
I'm a professional. Objective timers aren't showing up, so that's
Yep,
cool.
I was just wondering about that. I was like, is that another part that broke? Or
A drag spawning up in 30 seconds. All the pressure here is on the side of blue. Looking at red vision, they've got these 3 wards
yeah,
in their jungle.
I think if you're red side, you don't bother with this dragon. You know, people are just coming off of respawns. It's spawning way too before you can get into position. If it was possible, I think just trying to get one of these outer turret bounties would have been great, which, you know, the easiest one to do and the safest one in that case is the top one because it is far away from the dragon. Unfortunately, the whip was not really in place, and the only person up there is Hecarim.
Yep. They're trying to walk in, but I mean, it is so...
Zero Rage Gnar. It seems unwise.
Yeah.
Oh.
Elias just going to get popped by the Corki before he can even finish channeling his ulti. Good loss, gets CC'd by Super Noob. Once again, Jubilee is now unstoppable. Nunu is asserting dominance against the Hecarim. A good fear will be enough to get the shutdown on Nunu, but that's a 4-for-1 or 3-for-1. Nope, yep, 4-for-1 trade in favor of IQ.
This could well, I mean,
God.
maybe Nunu's not there, so maybe you don't do the Baron, but there's no jungler, so you could do the Baron.
Yeah, they can also just take towers here.
I mean, with that, like, if you're not sure, right, and you're in a position that you can just safely take towers instead and exert pressure that way, it's probably a better trade-off. They're so far ahead that theoretically they're going to be able to do that again and then just take Baron after the next one, hopefully with the Nunu alive.
Yeah, this is now an 11k gold bleed.
Yeah, I mean, some shutdowns did happen and go over to fam, but they need to pick up a lot of objective bounties and collect a few more shutdowns to really even start trying to equalize this.
Yep.
There is a Shadow Flame second on Victor, which is really good because of the Seraphine. Jinx actually has opted for Rapid Fire Cannon second. I don't know if that's that typical, but it does create space between her and the enemy team, which Corki does seem to like to launch himself right into them.
I think this game, Jinx should have gone Gale Force Rapid Fire into IE because there's mostly squishy champions, and the Gale Force will help you maneuver out of the package as well. And really, like, your one hope here as fam is to just go all in on one champion and get those resets to pop off. So if you can get that Gale Force execute down onto somebody, or with Rapid Fire Cannon, you can get that long range auto to get an assist. I think that's what she needed to do.
I think, in theory, you would maybe want your Victor to elect for the Liandry's and then have him be your Nunu killer. But this Nunu isn't quite as tanky as he could be because he's not building like dedicated tank items. He does have a Zeke's Convergence and a Knight's Vow, which is very, it's very SOFM.
Yeah.
I like it.
Good guy looking to sub for LCS, looking to get that permanent position. Lux going to break the Crown of the Shattered Queen onto Jubilee, but because of the passive lasting, the damage blocked is enough to keep him safe. And now Lux, looks like he's going for a Zanya's, which means he's never going to be able to like one shot somebody.
Anyone, yeah. In which case, at this point, like maybe we should just be building like support, like shield items, maybe.
Yeah, possibly, or just trying to go for the cheap one-shot items like Void Staff. Mm-hmm. One of the two options I think would be better than looking for Azanias here. Looking to sub for LCS, not quite got the boots to get around that.
Yeah, there's a lot of focus for IQ in this top side of the map, so it does look like they're raring to go for Baron. Gwen just took the red and is starting towards this wave that's pushing in, so I think we are going to see kind of a 4-1 going here.
Yeah, and once again, just to toggle vision, there's nothing here for red team. Nunu's Sunfire does proc the Baron there for a second, and now red team is all on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah.
Which, fortunately for blue team, or for them, they don't see that.
Right. Yeah, Gwen's actually going to get a little bit of a nasty surprise.
Yeah. Almost killing the Gnar early. The Ghost coming out from Hecarim. You can see IQ on the map starting up the Baron. The shutdown does go the way of Hecarim, but this should be a free Baron, a one for Baron trade.
An otherwise safe Baron.
Yep. Good attempts from both Celestial Vixen and Elias with the ultimates to try and steal there, but it's so hard to steal against Nunu, and good job from looking to sub for LCS to just hold on to that consume.
Yeah, so it looks like IQ is ready to, first of all, take their Dragon Soul, and then second of all, just defend this objective bounty from FAM. Yep. It's there's probably no contest here.
Yeah. Richie actually is ready to end the game. He has a red elixir popped. So he has the package, and I think we're about to see a final team fight here. The package does miss. Nunu trying to get in there will miss, but the Baron push is happening. Super Noob having to flash out. Hecarim and Victor don't have their ultis still from killing Gwyn.
Yeah, most ults are down, but they're coming up here pretty soon. Gnar's building the Gnar bar.
Oh, huge package doing a quarter or 3/4 of Elias's health there on the Lux. Richie is 5 levels up. Gnar about to mega out, and this could be the closest thing to a mega Gnar fight that we see here for the side of FAM this game. But if IQ wants to, they can just sit there and wait it out. There's no flash on Gnar, so he has no way to get in. The little snow foo dogs statue not going to hit. Gwyn just taking bot tower, even though she doesn't have the Baron. The second wave is now up here, and Lux and Victor not going to be able to wave clear. The Lux binding only hits minions. Nunu running out of the gravity field. Hecarim going in now onto Ezreal. Lands the ulti. The Crown of the Shattered Queen is gone. The Lux ult does no damage. Celestial Vixen fighting for her life. Jubilee flashes in and will one-shot her. The dual ADCs fighting for the kill over Gnar. Gwyn coming up from the bot lane to get a double kill. Nunu just tanking towers because he can consume. It was Jubilee who got the kill onto Gnar. So Richie, I'm sorry, you lose. Goodbye. And well played from IQ. They snowballed the game super early from a couple of great ganks from Nunu, and just
perhaps some Nunu snowballs.
Yes. Just had full control the entire time.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, they just played a pretty dominant game. They got ahead in pretty much every capacity that they could. Ezra was maybe a little slow to start ramping up and just chilled, but it was It was good.
All right, we should be getting another watch party link here pretty soon. So, what would we like to see differently from FAM as far as like? I I don't feel like it was a draft problem
I don't
really.
think it was a draft issue at all. Um, like, because we were thinking that the comp might favor them even in that
Yeah,
game. So I'm trying to think of like the execution. Like maybe you do need to be wary of the level 2 new gank. Um, because you have two, relatively immobile bot laners. So maybe they needed to have like, I mean, an early ward doesn't really make sense, but maybe you could have dropped. Maybe there's like a late, relatively late one compared to like your traditional invade that could drop into try. Or you just have to respect that it could happen and that bot lane's a pretty easy target because Nunu loves red buff, loves the snowball level 2. Lux and Jinx don't run very fast. So that could be something.
yep,
Maybe, they did have a Lux, so maybe they could have tried to level 1 and
yeah.
just try and, like, if they had forced, right, the support to back late or something, then maybe that level 2 gank doesn't happen.
I I also haven't played that much with Elias, but when I think of Elias, I think of Renekton and
Mm-hmm.
Galio. I
Which
think
are
is one
go
of his
in
like
beefy dudes.
yeah, he did play a lot of Galio at the beginning of last season when he was support. And I think that might be a better look for that team possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we'll have to see what they think and if they try and adapt. Let me send the link over so we get ready for the second draft.
Mm-hmm. So maybe they just, I mean, we say it wasn't a draft thing, but maybe we just mean like it, team comp versus drafting as a team is different, right? If you're just trying to
Mm-hmm.
play what seems good and really strong, maybe that's not always the key sometimes, because if you're not comfortable on it, or you don't, you're right. If you're just picking it up, you're not going to know all the matchups near as well. So maybe that's a possibility. Um, I mean, mid was really just a farm fest until ganks kind of came in, or like little squabbles in the river. I feel like so. Yeah, it might just be jungler ganking presence then,
Yeah.
right? Because we talk like Hecarim is also able to level 2 gank, although it's probably not as effective as red buff Nunu Snowball. But maybe matching that would be able to do something. We'll see if the bans change. Maybe they decide that they don't want to play against Nunu.
It was pretty deadly. I'd like to see them drop the Camille and maybe the Tryndamere bans and maybe ban the Nunu and Corki or maybe take the Corki.
Mm-hmm.
But so far, starting off the same with the Twisted Fate and Samira bans.
Yep.
Yep,
Banning
there's the Corki.
Yep. Yeah, that Corki did way too much damage early. It was concerning.
Yeah, the one shotting a Hecarim with just a Muramana or a the baby
Muramana's
one.
the baby one, I think.
Yeah. At like level 8 or something, that was
Well, yeah,
unacceptable.
that's
Riot
that's
needs
illegal.
to yeah.
Right?
Riot
Like I'm
needs to
thinking,
nerf
I'm like,
damage.
Hecarim took Conquer. I'm gonna guess he probably didn't get much use out of it. So like, maybe he wants to take phase rush so we can dodge some of those abilities, or
There it is. Like
oh,
Cinna, as I called, of course.
yep, hard engage champ.
You buffed Cinna though. On this patch, her Q has the slow.
That makes the Runon's build actually even way more effective because that means you have more Qs. So I hope to see a Runon's on that Senna because her auto attacks refund 1 second of her Q cooldown.
Yep.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ezreal is a safe champion that can do quite a bit of damage.
Ezreal, possibly the most played champion in Beer League.
Probably correct.
There's the Galio, though, to round it out. So this will be Cinna piloted by Celestial Vixen and a Galio support for Elias, possibly farming, not sure. The Seraphine picked up for IQ, so once again, I think there's a risk there with Seraphine being so squishy.
If she gets caught by the Galio, then there might be some problems. But we're gonna go for a Vi, which is actually kind of funny because since the portraits are mirrored, her tattoo on her face is maybe it's not mirrored. I don't remember. I thought it mirrored him. I was pretty sure it just said Vi.
I think it's mirrored.
Okay. Richie going for the Akshan. I've seen
Look
it
at
in his
Akshan's
matches a lot.
elbow. His elbow is like so popped up. Like that arm, that ain't right.
I have to change my little thing from icons to oh. Yeah, maybe that's his forearm.
Maybe. You should get it checked out. Either way, fam banning the Nunu away from looking to sub for LCS. I think that was a great choice. IQ banning out Scion and Thresh. So maybe thinking the Galio is a flex pick, or
Could
maybe
be.
just not having anything else to ban.
Yeah, that is kind of a little.
And there's the Gwyn ban from Fam, and I think that makes sense. Gentle Criminal had a great game. Gentle Criminal was the ADC player for IQ last season.
Last season, but played a lot of mage bots like Swain. We're seeing the Volibear for IQ, which I'm gonna guess is a jungle. Volibear did get buffed in 12-2, I believe. He has a little bit more AD growth, and his E cooldown is slightly lower.
Yeah, and we get the lore matchup: Volibear versus Ornn, two gods of Freljord or something. League lore. Fam is a super beefy team, so I want a big damage pick here out of their mid lane.
Yeah, that would be really good. I mean, Senna eventually. Okay, Sendra's pretty good. Pretty good option to peel the Volibear away from herself if he comes to gank. I'm assuming this is Volibear jungle right now. Because you can throw him away from you. Although that'll turn his Q back. It'll refund the cooldown on his Q.
Well, only if you stun him, right? If you just push him back.
If your movement gets interrupted, it refunds it. I'm pretty sure. I will double check.
That might be a weird interaction because I think Syndra W officially, like, it's just a pushback. It doesn't stun you at all, so you can keep moving forward.
Immobilized or polymorphed. So it might not be a knockback per se. Unless airborne counts, but that's no. We'll find out.
So anyway, Richie rounds out the draft here with Sylas. So that's an Akshan top and Volibear
Oh,
jungle?
yeah.
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 So
Akshan top is the Scourge.
my
Way of the
lore. My lore is
It was never
ruined.
going to be Volibear top. Volibear's an, an awful blind top.
Sorry, they were asking if I was ready and I was not paying attention.
I don't know. I feel like a knockback is like a knock up plus a displacement.
Someone go to the practice tool and let us know. Not the practice tool, just a Baku.
Report back, and we might shout out your name if we see you. Maybe.
Alright. The champ select going on now in client. So Volibear,
comp for IQ for sure.
yeah, Volibear not going to have quite as easy a time ganking as Nunu. So they probably won't be able to get off to quite as strong a start as they had, and I think scaling this time is in the favor of Fam.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Senna scales infinitely, technically, right? So
Yeah, so if this is a 65-minute game like every game this season, Senna will probably have 300 stacks and one-shot you from 3 towers away.
through your towers even.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be harder for Volibear to gank these. Galio provides really good peel. Vi could actually interrupt him as well, and have him restart. Plus, right, if you chain CC him before he can do anything, he's going to have a few issues, and he might not even get his ult off. Technically, Syndra or Ornn are probably going to be the easier lanes to actually like gank to access the people. Flash Q on Syndra might actually like score a kill. Ornn is I don't know if you kill him per se. I know Akshan does mixed damage, so that'll be interesting to see how much there's a lot of mixed damage actually, so it'll be interesting to see how defensively Fam itemizes.
Yeah, I do wonder, like, especially what Galio will build. If he's going to go like Proto Belt, or if he's going to go the Even Shroud, or is that the name of the new tank item?
Yeah, the enhanced Abyssal Mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that Even Shroud, it also says like if you get CC'd, you provide the AoE damage increase zone. I thought that was really interesting. I didn't realize that. So that's actually that could be good, because right, if Galio starts running at you to taunt, then you might be able to stop. I mean, normally you will try and stop him, but he'll still apply if you don't get out of the way in time. I've been wondering how that would do on like CC jungles, because it's so cheap.
It probably is surprisingly decent. I'm thinking I should build it on Ziggs and just, satchel in and Zhonya's, and then drop my ulti on my head.
I don't know about that one.
So, alright. Still 3 minutes on the spectator delay. Let's see. Richie playing the Akshan mid, Volibear top, and Gentle Criminal playing the Sylas. Wait, looking this up. Sorry, Volibear jungle.
There's no one else that can jungle in this on that team.
Yeah, I mean, technically Sylas could. It just wouldn't be very good.
Gone by.
Yeah, I bet Akshan could. It's
slowly.
2022.
Everyone can jungle.
So I like Fam's, fuck this one guy in particular comp. Vi ulti onto Syndra ulti, can definitely kill any one of those top 3 portraits over there on the right side of IQ.
Yeah.
But in an extended team fight, I am worried a bit about their damage. There's not that much tank to get through outside of Volibear,
But there's
but
a
that
lot of
is still a big
shields.
one. Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking it might take a little bit, and like this might be a very scaling game that it's going to take a while for them to chew through people until Senna actually ramps up.
Yep.
But Rune on Senna, this is a pretty good team to build that because Volibear, Sylas are going to be pretty close to you, and even Akshan will because he's going to want to be swinging in. So I think Senna does have a lot of good options in a team fight to work with, and she'll have Vi and Ornn and Galio in front of her to queue off of. So I think, I think technically comp wise, like it probably should favor Fam in like a normal. We just kind of trade stuff. We CS, we do objectives on occasion. Sometimes we give objectives so the other team can get the objective because we don't want to all die or whatever. So if nothing like crazy happens and no one starts snowballing heavily before 20 minutes, I think then it favors Fam. But we'll see. That does start giving Sylas a lot of opportunities to take some pretty fun ults, I think.
Yeah, I think Sylas with really any of those ults is okay. Probably Senna ult's the worst of them.
Actually, I think Syndra ult's probably the worst because he probably only gets the balls that come off of the ult. So that's like 3. Because he can't set up any additional ones. Senna ult probably. I mean,
maybe he can use Syndra's.
Nah, that's too spaghetti.
All right, we're getting to the loading screen here. I do feel like IQ has the momentum. We'll have to see if Fam can last until that 20-minute mark with making it a slow game. But I think the Galio for Elias is way more comfortable than the Lux is.
Mm-hmm. I agree completely.
Oh my god. IQ. Yeah, I did some of that stuff manually and I just screwed it all up. IQ not in order at all. See, my setup button should show that, but it hasn't been working.
Yep. So it looks like we're opting for 5-point starts. I think that both teams have the opportunity for a decent level 1 with probably Fam having a better secure because they have way more CC. But we probably aren't going to do that. So we'll see what the early wards are, see if that helps us sniff anything out. This is... Oh, it is actually Akshan mid and Sylas top. That's nuts. This is a Predator Volibear, which is pretty effective. I think it's pretty commonly taken. Halo Blades on Vi. Everything else is pretty standard.
Predator Volibear.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go fast.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if he's going to go Sunderer or if he's gonna go Chem Tank or Sunfire or something.
Yeah. I think one of the tankier items would probably be good. Just
he's gonna soak up a lot of stuff from the other team. So but I agree for sure.
He is apparently Trevor's fantasy jungler, so Trevor's probably hoping for that Sunderer build.
Yeah, I think for a Sunderer build you would want the press of the attack more, but you don't have to be hard bound to specific runes for certain items generally.
Yep.
Just ask Kayn.
This will be farming Senna and just a plain old support Galio. So they do get the level 2 first, but Galio really not that great until level 3. you know, he can go EW for the dash and taunt, but he will do 0 damage to you without the Q being learned. So, and Ezreal and Seraphine are a very safe lane. There is the EW. Ezreal can just Arcane Shift out. Elias gets rooted back up for a pretty decent trade, I think, in favor of IQ. Maybe a bit even.
Can you check your Discord stream specs? Because it just got... I am looking at a mosaic. Thank you. Volibear is clearing a little faster than Vi, which is kind of to be expected because he has way better AoE. Looks like he's going to go to the top scuttle, so he's going to take that before Vi's even finished with the scuttle. Or the Gromp. Other adorable jungle creature. Does look like Sylas is getting pushed around a bit by this Ornn. Ornn just has, you know, the brittle procs do so much damage.
Yep.
And he just has really good ways to... Right, Sylas has to walk up.
Yeah, I actually think Akshan into Ornn's probably a much better time than Sylas is, but...
I would think so as well, but Sylas getting access to the Ornn ulti over the Syndra ulti is probably better too.
Yep. So Volibear gonna get the double scuttle off here. Vi looking to maybe contest, but...
Nah.
Vi just looking to gank.
Might
Going for the flash Q, misses, and the stun misses from Syndra. The flash stun from Syndra, actually. Unless that was a... Unless she had to flash earlier and we didn't get to see it.
No, it's about the same.
So
cooldown as the
Richie
Volibear one.
walking away, getting 2 flashes for nothing.
For just one heroic swing. Yeah, so pretty normal. Volibear is definitely creeping up on the farm, but that kind of makes up for, you know, there's a couple of other. I mean, Ornn's a little bit ahead of Sylas, but Akshan's ahead of Syndra, so it's nothing significant yet, right? The gold lead's 200 maybe.
Yep. Elias, you know, melee into double ranged feels bad a lot of the time. Akshan on the roam with Volibear. They're coming over the wall. The word will spot them out. The ghost predator, or just the predator coming from Volibear, he does get taunted up and won't be able to get the stun off unless Vi knocks him up. First blood going the way of Galio. A double root from Senna. Akshan getting the revive down and the exhaust going onto Senna means the play, I think, is ending. Syndra TPing bot lane instead of to her own tower when the play is over means she gets to walk the rest of the way. Unless they look to make a play, and Jubilee is up here. If that stun lands, but throwing the E out too soon for the W to land. Vi is still here. Jubilee having to flash out. Probably actually could have just walked away or used heal, but
yeah,
respecting the Vi damage.
Does look like Fam are gonna go for the early drag. I think that's actually perfectly great. Volibear on that revive just went top to farm, so
yeah,
reasonably free dragon.
Already a much better start here for Sloppy Froppy with Fam. We'll have to see if they can keep it up. The Galio did end up getting the first blood. So he's only a little bit ahead in gold. It looks like Seraphine's probably got a lot more progress on the support item.
She has been able to hit quite a few champions since there were like 4 in her lane.
Yeah. And once again, just being a melee champion like Galio trying to play into double range like Ezreal Seraphine is kind of miserable. Elias getting a taunt onto Richie, but going to take more of his health back. The Syndra stun does land. Isn't going to pop the ulti quite yet. Seraphine shield blocks all of the damage. Galio looking for the flash taunt will just barely hit it. The Senna ulti goes down but won't get her an assist. And Syndra getting on the board, and a great roam here by Elias. Like I said, the Galio giving him more, I think, shot calling ability and roam ability.
I think we're gonna have our top lane standoff just in the river here.
Yeah, the wave's in a really awkward spot for Sylas, so Good Loss gets to just stand there and watch his minions burn with the Bammy Cinder. And Gentle Criminal just making it out of that. Still loses the trade despite Ornn missing half of his combo there. Because Ornn. But the wave will reset now because of all the trading and the AoE from Ornn.
Yeah, so this looks like a Wit's End rush for the Akshan, unless there is something that builds a mythic that builds out of those two items that I'm not thinking of.
I don't think so.
But I think it's a good choice, right? He's laning into a Syndra.
Yep.
He likes mixed damage, although Wit's End does not do like the magic resist shred like it used to, which would be nice until all these tanks.
Does that reveal him if you auto the ward, which lets the ward give vision, and he's on the ward? Oh, Elias is top lane. With the ignite, they do kill Sylas. Volibear looking to go in 1v2. Ults the ult from Galio, so he won't get knocked up. Aratameru is up here now, though, with the Syndra. That should be a second kill going her way. And a much better showing early game right now from Fam.
Yeah, I mean, I think Volibear did the correct thing of trying to just ult. He ulted the CC and then tried to kill the Galio. It's just, unfortunately, the Syndra coming up made it a numbers issue of there are too many people doing damage to me before I can do damage.
Yep.
If he was able to get a second W off, I think he at least takes the Galio down.
But good room from Syndra there. She's already been much more proactive this game than the last game on the Victor, which makes sense.
Yeah, Victor really wants to stay in lane and just push waves and
farm up his passive.
Yep.
But now Volibear looking to 1v1 the Vi, but it's soon to be a 3v3. Looking to sub for LCS, doesn't have ulti, so he has to run away. He's going to stun the Ornn. Sloppy Froppy not quite able to get out. Our Tameru is out of mana, but Ornn will pick up the kill onto Volibear. Ornn looking to pick up another kill onto the Sylas. Our Tameru able to get behind the tower, and our Good Loss able to brittle the Sylas. Great collapse there for a 1-for-2 there in favor of Fam.
Yeah, Sylas didn't have ult up for any of that, so he wasn't able to use anything there that could be beneficial, unfortunately. I think that really hurt the play, but, you know. I think I would have liked to see Volibear put a better Volibear E placement. He wasn't able to get the shield because he had to run away, but also try and finish, so he didn't actually get his shield off of his E, but was able to get like the damage. So if he just places it off to the side a little bit more, he might have been able to get the best of both worlds.
Vi going in here onto Richie maybe, but no ult from Vi and no mana for Syndra means nothing's going to happen. The bot lane of IQ, no mana here. Volibear just going to run in maybe with Predator, but it's too late as Elias goes for the dive. The ulti from Seraphine going to keep him locked up. He is going to hit the blast cone. Ezreal maybe he's going to flash over, but the shielding and healing from Senna going to keep Elias alive. And now this play is
once again dragon for Fam probably.
Yeah, it should be. Syndra just TP'd back to lane. Doesn't quite have the gold to finish her Luden's Echo yet. But this will be second dragon at 12 minutes, which is already
Way
an
faster
even.
than the last one.
Yeah, first dragon was at 11 minutes last game. So Fam, looking to make this even more difficult.
Oh.
Just
That was a lovely chain of CC. Maybe a little
Yeah.
overkill even.
I expect to see 3 pings on Galio R, Syndra R, and Vi R in the chat. Not that I have it enabled, but
Yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know. I think having that enabled for spectator is pretty nice because then talks about the items coming through, and for that, because I think that a lot of teams, like, if they don't ping sums, I think that's a pretty big loss, actually.
Yep.
There
It
you
is.
go. See. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'll just remember that it happened, but, like, if you can scroll back in your chat and you can do quick maths to find out exactly when it's back up, like, that's so beneficial.
Yeah.
And that comes from me that can't do quick maths.
Vi now going to get locked up by the Volibear. Doesn't have flash. The Akshan ulti going to hit. The Senna shield going to keep her safe. There are 4 people top lane now for the Rift Herald, but IQ looking to back off. Not sure that they can take it. Predator from Volibear coming in. He doesn't have ulti to cancel the tower. Aratameru just needs a stun but doesn't have it up. And shutdown going the way of Richie on the Akshan.
Yeah, Seraphine Shield came in big there to keep Volibear from just expiring from this plane of existence. He tanked the entire tower for that, so...
Yeah. And that's first tower going down the way of IQ and the shutdown from Syndra, so much needed gold infusion there.
Who did that shutdown go to?
It went to Akshan.
Okay. Rich man.
Yeah, Richie.
It does look like we're seeing probably a chem tank out of the Volibear.
Yeah, Ornn bot lane looking for the engage. Seraphine ulti going to get a 3-man charm, but Galio flashing forward with the 3-man taunt says, I'm better. Volibear trying to ulti out. The Silas Galio ulti coming down now onto 2, but he's just going to die. Elias picking up his second kill. The Aven Shroud is completed. Yeah, I don't know why IQ was there with Drag not coming up for another 2.5 minutes. I think they were maybe looking to try and kill the Senna, but a huge collapse there from Fam.
Yeah, Fam had a really good, like, they were just already in that bot side, so they were able to put a little bit of a sandwich.
Vi is now here again. The stun from Syndra not coming out quite yet. Sloppy Froppy getting slowed down. The execute ult coming from Silas may be going to be enough. It will be. Ornn trying to dash to her, but not able to make it in time. We see bot lane Ezreal having to give up the tower to 1v2, and Ornn giving up on soloing the Herald, which he was doing there for a minute.
Yeah, I don't know if the Akshan ulti would give Vision that, because it didn't hit Ornn, but he was nearby, so maybe he decided to not proceed if they knew he had been there. Which is probably a pretty safe bet.
Yeah. Now Silas getting some free time on the top tower. Ornn not using his teleport, probably saving it for this drag coming up in a minute. We see resets coming out of Ezreal, and I think everyone else on IQ recently reset. Galio going in 1v1 against the mid laner. Takes a little bit of damage back and doesn't really get anything out of it except blowing his aftershock.
Vi just visited top lane.
Oop.
Did use ulti, it looks like, maybe.
And so did Ornn.
Yeah, so they won't have that for this dragon coming up. I wonder if it may be smarter to just take Rift Herald, but
Richie getting
see.
stunned up under tower mid-swing. Galio flashing in onto somebody. Volibear going down. And that is a jungle for jungle trade there, but Sylas did get revived by the Akshan getting a kill down. We have to see if they're going to look to take Dragon Fam despite missing their jungler, or if they're just going to look to siege here. I think Gentle Criminal just stole the Ornn ult up top and didn't
He
connect.
does have his teleport, so they wherever they do decide to go could turn into some exciting gameplay. Ornn's recalling right now. Vi is
Volibear.
heading towards the dragon, so I think they are going to try establishing this dragon vision. The Scuttle Relic should go down.
Yeah, red team has no vision in there really.
Yeah,
Blue
the
team's
closest thing
got
is
a
the
lot.
bottom river ward.
Yeah, Vi cues in, starts the dragon on vision though from the vision plant. Super Noob can't really face check into the Galio in that bush, and Ezreal catching the bot wave and Sylas taking the top wave. Looks like they're calling for maybe a steal from
We're
Andrew.
trying.
He gets pushed back by the Syndra. He's in there. He steals it, looking to sub for LCS, coming up huge. Mark up the stolen objective for fantasy points. And that's actually really big. That prevents the soul point from Fam.
Yep. That does keep IQ in this game for a little bit longer, but it looks like Fam is just going to go for the Rift Herald, which is perfectly safe for them to do. I do wish that maybe they hadn't used the Viol to secure the Volibear because he didn't have a flash and wasn't going to make it out anyway, but maybe, it might come up by the time that anything else happens, so it might not even matter. Oh my god, Cinder just threw Scuttle at the big sister.
Yeah.
That's rude.
Syndra's a heartless champion, and people who play Syndra should feel bad. See, nowadays though, Syndra's not nearly as bad as like all of these other new champions. So it's like I hated Syndra until Zoe came out, and then I really hated Zoe, and now even Zoe's like whatever compared to some of this other new crap like Yone and Viego. Oh, Viego.
Okay,
So-
Volibear's going into a dead man's, it looks like. Sylas has his Ever for us, which I think in team fights that's probably a pretty good choice because he can just provide some peel. And it gives him more AP. But yeah, the Sylas is a little behind.
Yep.
Ornn's working on Thimble Winter. Ornaments should be coming in pretty soon. He'll get his in about a level.
Vi is here to save Elias, who got rooted up, and we're just gonna keep walking away.
Yeah, there's really not much to do besides maybe this mid tower for Fam, unless they're able to feel brave enough to try the Baron.
Elias might look for a flash in. That's Arcane Shift down from Ezreal.
It's getting poked down though. He really needs to be in front of the Senna, but the Senna's actually pretty low in mana here as well. This really yeah, this is not the optimal time to fight, I don't think, even though you do have the Rift Herald.
Yep, not anymore. I do like the change in build from Jubilee this game. Last game he went the Crown of the Shattered Queen, and this game he went into the Sunderer, which just is really smart when you're into the Ornn, the Vi, and the Galio. Senna completing the Gensu's Rageblade and Kraken Slayer will be able to melt through the 1 in 6 Volibear here without any issue, I think, for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I mean, Senna's right is going to be your DPS, so I wonder if she will go for like the Serpent's Fang to try and get through the Seraphine and the Shield Bow.
I think it would be good, and I think it'd be a good next. The Shadow Flame would be a good next item here from Syndra.
Yeah.
They are gonna try and stop the Herald charge. It won't take tower. It will still get the charge off, but Sylas is just taking tower up top, getting some free time to catch back up. He does take it, and the wave clear from IQ is strong enough to last another wave.
Yeah,
And
I was really hoping that Rift Herald came down when the wave was up because it was really close. but maybe they needed to put it down immediately.
Yeah, and now Silas getting time on the tier 2. Every time Fam goes up to try and siege into this team, Elias just gets poked out,
Hmm.
and they can't actually pull the trigger on a team fight. Now, I'd like to see Silas just kind of walk bot. He's got his Unleashed teleport, so Baron shouldn't be on the table quite yet for Fam.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon's coming up here in 40 seconds, and actually, right,
Oh,
Chemtech Drake gives you like the hit point thing. I don't know if that's
yep.
percent or like numerical hit points. I haven't figured that out yet, but with all those tanks, it could actually be pretty
Oh,
beneficial.
Richie swinging the center route onto Super Noob. He will go down. So will
Oh, okay.
Seraphine. This should be soul point going the way of
Yeah, and
Fam.
Volibear would have to do another very courageous
That is 4 ults down,
steal.
and the Ornn pillar does kind of stop the Galio charge from going in. That's the Silas version of the Galio ulti. Looks like Fam making the call to move back towards the dragon. Galio and Ornn just going to try and peel off the Volibear, and they should be successful this time. Elias getting his like 4th kill of the game. Ezreal no ulti to try and go for a steal. Syndra gets it with 24 HP, so good on good loss and Elias to stop Volibear from getting in there a second time. This should almost be a Baron call. I feel like you should have, like,
Yeah,
you're
I
gonna
think they're
take it
settling
so
for
fast with
mid,
this
but
team.
I mean, taking mid allows you to set up for Baron.
Yep.
But I definitely think you could get away with a very early Baron that way. Maybe because Ornn is bot. That's a little harder because this Ornn actually does quite a bit of damage and is a big lad.
Yep.
But his winner's approach isn't sacked yet. But he should be able. He's still not able to get to share ornaments yet, so we'll see who he upgrades first. I'm hoping it's the Senna, but I guess it could be Syndra, so we'll see.
Yeah, they did try and change it, right, where certain item, like all the items are pretty much even in terms
Yeah,
of
when
added
they
gold
introduce
value.
the mythic items, all the Ornn items give about 1,000 gold worth of stats instead of because the last iteration there were some that were just absolute poo poo compared to the other ones on gold efficiency. Like the locket upgrade was garbage, but the Abyssal Mask one and Sunfire might have been
Yeah.
really good or something. Elias is very
Galio,
far up.
very far forward.
Still going.
Syndra one popping super noob on the Seraphine. Vi should go down here, maybe. She's tanking tower. One more auto from Richie could do it. There it is. Richie getting the revive on nobody, I think, because Vi didn't actually kill anybody. Gentle Criminal has TP'd in. He steals the Syndra ulti. He
Yeah,
lands the
Syndra's
chain onto Syndra. The ult never comes out, and so it's all up to Jubilee to try and kill the Galio. Richie should be able to clean up Elias, and now it's just
That's
Ornn versus the world. And by the world, I mean Richie,
I
because
don't think
Richie's
you
my
dash
world.
into that.
Yeah. Without Kraken Slayer, I don't know if he can actually do anything here because
No.
Ornn, being the good old assassin that he is, will flash forward. Showing off the new top lane talents here in the Beer League is good loss, having a huge game this time around on the Ornn.
Maybe it's like the duality of his name. The last game we got the lost part. This game we're getting the good part.
Nice.
Yeah, no, this Ornn is gigantic, and right, he's one of the ones collecting the bounties right now, or like has a bounty on him. But I don't know if you kill that at this point. The unfortunate thing, yeah, earlier is that Akshan did not get the last hit onto whoever. I mean, he hadn't damaged them recently enough, so he didn't get the revive on whoever was the scoundrel that killed most of his team.
Yep.
And then when it transferred to Galio, after there was a lot of training back and forth. When it transferred to Galio, Galio had only killed like one person, so.
The bot lane of IQ is bot lane. Fam setting up for their soul point here. Syndra trying to take the wolves. I don't think she'll be able to complete another item. Has completed the Shadow Flame. Super Noob caught out on the Seraphine. Will flash the wall, but Syndra can go for the stun there. A good
Nice
juke
side
backwards, but the gameplay button has been pressed. Unfortunately, can't dodge those, and that's not going to matter that much, probably.
Yeah, Seraphine will be up before the dragon starts, but, you know, Fam could just bush camp, and whoever walks in, right, they're not going to have a Seraphine to back them.
Yep. And much better vision this time around. Volibear now solo clearing a ward, which is quite scary. Elias and Ornn can just provide so much pressure around here.
Yeah.
Senna just finishes the rapid fire cannon and is now running back. Ornn just finishes the thorn mail. Vi going in onto Ezreal, has to flash back out. Gentle Criminal taking a big chunk from the Syndra. Zanya's the Seraphine ulti, but it doesn't matter. 3-man Seraphine ulti looking to sub for LCS is in there. The Senna ulti coming out to save them. A big Ezreal ulti does 0 damage actually. Sylas getting his own Ornn ulti onto 2. Celestial Vixen going down to Jubilee. This is the pentakill angle for Jubilee. Good loss, almost about to drop. Elias hits another huge ulti. Jubilee flashes in. Richie steals the pentakill from Ezreal, and Good Loss has to run away with no health. Huge fight from IQ to delay the Chemtech Soul another day.
Yeah,
Richie still looking to stop any backs.
Yeah, the Seraphine ult to collect them was pretty big. Jubilee actually just arcane shifted, and it looks like his flash was just coming up. So he has that for another day. They're gonna go rush the Baron, it looks like. I think that might be a little precarious. We'll see what happens. Syndra's not up, but she does have her teleport. So maybe they'll wait on starting, and they'll think about just bush ganking someone, except there's no bushes.
Looks like it. Ornn has given out the worm fallen sacrifice now to Senna. And now IQ probably feels like a bunch of chumps, thinking they probably could have started.
This is very dangerous.
Walked out just a little too soon.
That last fight worked really well for them because Senna kind of went down in the middle of the
Elias
fight.
could be caught out here. He is. He's going to go down real quick, but gets a 4-man taunt to start it. A huge 3-man stun from Syndra will shut down the Volibear, which will shut down any hopes of a Baron. It's going to be a support for jungler trade, and Elias is going to take that any day of the week. Richie getting a little too close to Sloppy Froppy, but
yeah, I think IQ just needs to maybe manage their waves right now. They have no chance of doing the Baron. They do need to keep the other team from doing the Baron, which will be a little harder because Gallia isn't there to set up vision, I think. But all the waves were at their side on their side of the map, so they definitely need to just get those pushing, farm up a little, and then they'll be able to convert that and then maybe try again for the Baron bait. They have a little time before they have to worry about the dragon coming up again, so they could try it one more time if they want. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I wish they had just gone for it. Unfortunately, they have no pinks really to give them vision to let them know whether or not anybody from Fam was coming, so they opted for the bush play and then kind of just stood around for 20 seconds, which I think would have been more than enough time for them to take it with Volibear, Akshan, and tank killing Ezreal. Yeah, Ezreal has to arcane shift out. Elias flashing in. It's sort of a 1v2 though. Two flanks going on. Elias won't be able to get out. A huge charm there from Super Noob. Once again, the gameplay button will shut him out, but now it's jungler and support for just the support, and huge damage. A good stun from Aratameru, having a great game on the Syndra.
It's reconsidering. Both top laners were just kind of hanging out back.
These three should be able to take Baron. They should just go.
They are too scared, I think.
Just do it. Do it!
Alright, they're doing it now. I mean, the one thing is that, like, the Chemtechs on that top side for blue, there's plenty of places to put a normal ass ward to tell you if they're coming.
Yep.
You could put one just in front of the blue buff. You could put one in that corridor that they're coming through right now. They need to bail towards the top side of the map if they're going to make it out. And they make it out safely, so that's a pretty big swing for IQ. They'll have this Baron buff. How long does it last?
3 minutes?
Yeah, I know.
2.5?
Less, I think. I think it's 180. So they'll have it for the dragon fight. So they will have the stats. They will be able to run a split push if they want to. The teleport is back up for Sylas. I would like to see this bot turret go down finally. It has been hanging out at very little hit points. That should give them a pretty good cash influx. They may need to just send a couple more people down to help that out. Because I don't think Sylas can really... He'd have to just be sitting there waiting for the minions to take it. But it looks like FAM are coming down to the bot side of the map. Richie is heavily zoning out Vi.
Vi is almost dead, but Richie's going to probably die instead as Galio comes out of the Chemtech and the gameplay button kills the Seraphine. And now this is a 3v5 for the Chemtech Soul.
I don't know if this is...
They look through the vision on the backside. Celestial Vixen gets almost 2-popped there. Will heal up off the ward a little bit. The Ornn ulti hits Gentle Criminal, but no follow-up available. The flash from Syndra will hit the stun. The flash from Ornn. The flash from Vi to get the ulti down. And now Gentle Criminal jumping into the pit to run around. I think they're going to give this up and try and save their Baron maybe. Looking to sub for LCS, has ulti and flash, but the peel from Galio is too much. The Predator goes down, but way too late. And just not enough vision prep in the Chemtech Soul zone here for Super Noob and Richie to be able to making that aggressive of a play.
All the homies hate Chemtech. This is gonna make the I think this is gonna make it a lot more difficult for IQ to deal with FAM here now. They have some already extremely tanky people that are gonna get a second life, and like, you know, different than like the Scion passive is you can actually use your abilities during your zombie state. So Senna has pretty low cooldowns and is autoing a lot. Oh, no Runon's on her. Feels bad. I mean, I think it's working, but I would have liked to see the Runons, but that's okay. No one asked me. And so we really, and I think that's the thing for IQ is they don't really have anyone that can face check. Sylas is a little too behind and pretty fragile. Volibear is kind of important in a lot of these moments when they are trying to figure out who's where because he's the jungle. So if he dies, then there's no point of proceeding. So it's definitely like who has more tanks, and the answer is FAM.
Yep. And Syndra is just massive this game.
She's doing a lot of damage.
Can see how long it's going to take Ezreal to get through the Ornn there. Sylas reverting back to his split pushing. Makes this Jubilee getting a little bit too far up. A huge engage from Sloppy, Froppy, and Galio. But so far, the fight is in the favor of FAM. The health bars are all in there.
And it seems to be going kind of well.
Yeah, Sylas is still pushing too.
Yeah, they just need to wave clear and then call Sylas off as soon as he finishes that tower, I think.
Yep, he starts his recall there. IQ is walking out from that tier 2, maybe looking to stop some backs or just try and apply some mid lane pressure. Ornn recalling there on the side, Vi going to recall as well, Senna going top lane to catch the wave, Sylas running bot. This should be a mid lane tower, I think, going the way of IQ. The Syndra stun falling just a little short of the W throw.
Man, that was a 4v5 and no one died, technically. It was just
Yeah.
crazy. Which, I mean, technically, that's kind of a win for. That's more of a win for IQ. They get top, they win the 4v5. They don't actually kill them so that they don't get to use the Chemtech soul. That does mean they have it up for the next thing, but you know, maybe you just have to soften them up a little and make them be like, oh, maybe that's a bad idea. Baron's coming up here pretty soon, so we're gonna see what happens here.
Scuttle Crab going the way of Fam will give them good vision setup.
Yeah.
Syndra has a stopwatch. Vi has a stopwatch. Both of those could be huge for this upcoming fight. Silas has crept his way up actually to a farm lead after the bad start and a level lead. Now he's even. Orin leveled up as I was saying it. But Orin's still much bigger. Still actually only 400 gold up. So that's cool.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, there's a lot of kill participation, so Silas must have netted something. I mean, he can't have gotten a bounty because he didn't land the killing blow, but he must have received the side bits of the bounties. We'll see.
Yeah, and just playing for vision here, Elias and Slappy Froppy kind of alone, but IQ doesn't really have a way of knowing that, and so IQ able to clear out a lot of the vision here on Baron.
Super Noob needs to be very careful here.
Yeah,
We've seen a lot of things go a little wrong in this game because he gets caught out.
He had to flash there just now on the very top of the screen. So I like what IQ is doing here with the Silas. I was going to bring it up 25 minutes ago. They've had... he deserves it. He's the real carry of this game, let's be real. The lane assignments have not been the best, I feel like, from either team. There's been a lot of like ADC and mid laner in the same lane the entire time.
Yep, someone needs to be picking up top, but Dragon's about to spawn. Baron's been up.
It definitely shouldn't be Ezreal. I think they have to sack it. Blue team pinging on Baron.
They could have maybe just had Ezreal, like, I don't know, ulting. It's probably a bad idea at this point. He doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be too bad for him to clear because he does have a Ravenous Hydra, but...
Blue team opting to give up the Elder Dragon?
Maybe make
Fam just lets it go unless Orin gets a steal here, and IQ can go for a huge fight, and there won't be an Orin ulti. It only hits Volibear. TP coming in from Silas. He's going to get collapsed on. He ease out, but won't be able to make it. Hopefully doesn't even have time to Zanyas. The Orin gets hit by the Seraphine ulti. Elias just barely burns down. Orin's going to die here. Syndra on the side right clicks the Jubilee with his ult and will be able to kill him. Richie now looking to finish off these two, but huge damage from Aratameru. This should just be Baron.
Right now, if they come into them, right, if they walk in, you just kill them. Yeah, that Ezreal did so much work. It knocked two people really close to the execute threshold immediately.
Yeah.
This Senna is very squishy.
Just a huge mistiming error there, I think, from Fam not realizing the Elder Dragon was spawning or couldn't decide between Baron or Elder there. And the stun down from Syndra means maybe they could go for a fight here with the Elder. If they're gonna recall, they need to do it right now and then
and then get on the field again immediately. I think this is wise. I don't think they should have stayed because Senna and Orin were about to be up. Orin's ult is up when he gets up, so you know he'd have that immediately to catch someone. Holy shit! Why are these games more than 40 minutes? Whenever someone doesn't just get all the dragons themselves, that's crazy.
Yeah. Volibear really needs to sell the refillable pot for like a
Sloppy
Froppy has to
Great
pop the
Zanyas.
stopwatch to
stopwatch.
live. And now IQ just going to assert dominance in this jungle. Fam going to be able to pull back to their tower, and maybe with the Syndra AoE, they might be able to defend this, but this is an eldered up, baroned up IQ. The Ezreal ulti might just be enough to burn Celestial Vixen to death. She needs to Q one of her teammates. Ezreal dies as Senna falls below the threshold, so Senna lives. The execute doesn't happen, and with Ezreal dead, I think the push is just over. You take the bottom lane tower.
Yep, I'm glad that they did send the Sylas bot. Maybe they should have, when they did that, they maybe should have not gone quite as ham mid. Maybe just the ult, and then see if that makes them back off, because that immediately puts you at the numbers disadvantage, but...
Richie's going to get hit by the Vi. This could be a throw here. Ornn hits all three with his ulti, looking to sub for LCS, looking to get out of here with that ult. The Elder buff, I think, is down. It's already timed out, and with both carries dead now, this is a huge tempo swing in favor of Fam.
Yeah, IQ just has to walk home.
Volibear trying to clear the wave, and I think that's what they have to do, or Fam might be able to just survive off the staggered death timers to be able to actually push to end here. Ezreal ulti doing a lot of damage once again. Super noob. I think you just need to recall with that Baron, get back up to full, let Volibear buff up the wave so he can't take anything, and you give up your jungle there. But IQ actually just ramming it back down mid lane.
I mean, top lane's actually coming in for them, so they're gonna get a little damage on that top turret. That might be where they send the Sylas next. But there's a lot that... I feel like this is how Volibear gets
so far
trouble.
forward.
He really needs to be farming. He's at level 16 right now.
He really needs to sell that refillable pot.
Yeah,
for
that
like...
is actually, now that you pointed out, that's making me pretty mad.
Yeah.
Like, luckily, no one else is holding on to their Dorans except for Ornn with the Doran shield, which he probably doesn't need, but, you know, he takes so little damage, reducing the damage buffer. It's just the regen. He doesn't need that shit. Sell that shit. I pink wards.
This is the second time IQ has done this. They're letting the Scuttle Crab live until slightly closer to the objective.
It's really smart, actually.
It's just...
If they plan on actually, like, maintaining the space, then it's quite smart. That's so gross. What they really need to do is just let the Scuttle live, and then, like, have Ezreal Q it, and then herd it down, and then have it come back, so that he gets his ult back. But the Scuttle Crab has run to the top side of the map.
Sylas picking up the Galio ulti. I think that's been his most effective, other than the Ornn ulti, the entire game. IQ still sitting on that Scuttle Crab. The shrine, I think, lasts for a minute and a half or so. Gentle Criminal going to die here. Gets flashed over the...
He didn't use his Zanyas.
Nope. All right. IQ going to take the Scuttle now. Vi... Pinging the Vi flash. I thought she flashed. She didn't actually flash. It was just a Q over the wall. Syndra on this side may be vulnerable if they see the orbs. And now this is just the Ezreal poke game. His ulti just about to come back up. There it goes, firing it off once again. Hits our Temeru, but Senna going to be able to heal him back up. Richie in the bot lane just taking towers. And now Fam sees this, and it just goes hard engaging. Super Noob going to fall immediately. The Syndra and Senna ulti still up. Richie
needs to just stop backs, I think.
Fam going to stay for the Elder while maybe Syndra recalls instead.
Yeah, I think the Seraphine ulti to stop.
There's a TP from Ornn going back to base. First tower is dead. Ornn doesn't complete the TP. Richie now taking the tower. The TP from Sylas going into the base. Volibear in the Elder Dragon. It's going to go the way of of Fam, Gentle Criminal not going to be able to live against this Syndra. The base will be defended, and this is the second Elder Dragon. This one's going to last forever. This one's meant to end the game. There's no wave, but they're so tanky. They might be, and Senna can outrange the tower. They might be able to just push their way to end. Ezreal poke has to be huge. 1v5, let's see if he can do it. Super Noob does just respawn. The Ezreal ulti doing a lot of damage there to Senna, but she's going to be able to heal back up real quick. Seraphine ulti not doing much.
It's just 3 meatballs tanking a tower.
Yeah, Sloppy Froppy loses his Sterix for it, but still has GA up, still has the Chemtech soul up. You have to kill this guy 3 times.
I mean, I'm surprised that they were not able to just hard end off of that.
Yeah.
This actually, they're going to the Baron, it looks like, right after, which I think is smart, because if they had left the area and reset, and IQ gets that Baron, that's a pretty good opening for them.
But they know. Vi is on the bot wave. Volibear has Predator, has Chemtank. He's going to rush over here. Has Flash, has ulti.
Now.
He's got to get in there. He's got to be strong. He steals the Baron. Good loss. Charges forward. He might still die. Volibear for sure going to die to the Elder Burn. Ezreal not going to be able to get the shutdown onto Volibear, but that's Baron onto 4 now for the team IQ, and that's the Elder Dragon ticking away.
They actually get to hold here. That's...
Yeah, through Baron, there's no way that Fam can actually like out wave clear a minion wave. I think.
Mm-hmm. Not against these guys. I don't think so. Ooh, what's Even Shroud's mythic item in?
Equinox.
Oh, that's cool. I guess I don't know what an Even Shroud is, but
I like Deicide.
yeah.
All right, Richie pushing the mid lane with his Baron buff, but only buffing up the minions. It is dangerous. You know, if I wanted to run up through the Chemtech fog, he would have no idea. Just trying to outlast the Elder buff. I don't know how long the second one lasts. I just know it's longer. Did it just fall off? It did. I think it's like 4 minutes or something.
I think it scales as well, but I will.
Yep.
Killing an Elder Dragon gives aspect of the dragon for 150 seconds.
Ornn is nowhere near this potential team fight quite yet. Jubilee playing with fire, just looking for poke up top, but Senna now pretty effective at dealing with it. Elias doesn't have flash to get over the wall. Silas just pushing top, and he has Baron this time, so that push is going to be even more effective. And Elias goes forward, but the taunt and the dash are going to miss, so Silas just gets a free tower. They don't see Ornn recalling there, except they do on that ward. And now Silas just recalling. He can TP back to a fight here in just a second if he wants to. Knowing that Silas isn't there, I think Galio looking for another potential engage. Ornn looking for the engage. A 3-man Senna or Seraphine ulti is going to stop that engage in its tracks. So far, not a lot of damage. Silas going to get the flank. He takes the Galio ulti. This is Volibear's cue to run in there, I think. But they're playing it slow. They've got minions.
For their bot wave.
Yeah, and Silas has Baron, so he's going to go buff up the double supers bot wave you can see on the map, while the mid lane pushes in. Senna is able to kill the cannon minion, which is pretty huge. Volibear going to run top. He does not have the Baron, so he won't be able to buff up the minions there. Richie looking for some poke onto Galio. The Ezreal ulti not doing too much to him through the magic damage shield. Syndra stun going down. The Baron falls off, and the inhib is respawning soon. Actually, Gentle Criminal with those chains may be going to kill him as the Ornn ulti comes back up. He flashes it. That's a necessary flash. Volibear running in, dodges the Syndra ulti. But Senna can maybe out-kite this now. The ult from Volibear not getting over the wall. Aratameru goes legendary now. 20 and 3 on the Syndra. 51 minutes into this game. I can't wait to cast a best of 5 of this at the end of the season. Um, and this is Volibear dead until Elder spawns. So this should be Fam's Elder unless something changes again. Jubilee 1v4 right now in the dragon area. Richie looking for more cheesy inhibitor takes. Sees the Ornn, will get caught. Going to start running away. Heroic swings, but we have to see if he can be clever. This is Richie. He's one of the ballsiest mid laners in all of Beer League. He is still stealth. The Akshan passive. I don't think they did, but now they do. Richie.
He can just, if he can stall them for until the Elder spawns, this might be good.
Yeah, Elder spawns in 10. The stun missing from Syndra. He's just going to go for the swing around the Nexus, maybe. The camouflage does fade, unfortunately. He's looking to trade. He does trade. They have no Syndra for this fight. The fight happening right now.
Oh, boy.
Ezreal is dead for 70 seconds. Akshan's dead for 70 seconds. Sylas is dead for 70 seconds. Seraphine about to go the same way. It looks like the 4v5 was not quite strong enough while we were watching Richie's antics.
Opting to ignore the Elder Dragon and try and at least get these inhibitors, maybe even end. We'll see.
I think with Senna up, they can end here.
Yeah.
There's no wave clear. Seraphine is full support. Volibear, can't do too much. There is no Seraphine ulti. Vi going in onto Seraphine. The first tower already dead. Senna just autoing from out of range. Volibear can't disable
Seraphine
that tower.
Almost up, but...
Seraphine ult does hit Senna, and Senna will die, but the zombie's going to respawn. The calls from Fam to just hit Nexus, and they're going to do it in a 53-minute game. Fam will bring it back to a 1-1 after almost 3 Elder Dragons, at least 3 Barons, I think. Crazy series.
Holy. Whew. That was... Okay. Oh, Zesty was asking for a Senna stack update?
She had 100 stacks at like 35 minutes.
So now that we're about 20 minutes later, we're going to guess that that's probably at least like 150, maybe 175. I don't really know. She's probably only farming one wave-ish and then touching champions. Who knows?
Huge game from Aratameru and huge game from Jubilee. Once again, did 58,000 damage. Richie had a great game on the Akshan, but
yeah. I think General Criminal, despite being very, very, if you look at the stat line, it does not look great, but he was able to get a lot of pressure by split pushing, was pretty chill, didn't try and make a lot of desperate plays, and when he did get caught a couple of times, but he tried to stall as much as he could. There was one time that he got caught, he Zhonya's, and that's when we got that ridiculous Seraphine ults in their blue buff area for IQ, and that I think that even probably gave them some of their momentum back in this game to start fighting it. So I mean, Sylas when behind feels really awkward, but he was able to find ways to be effective and useful, and I think that's really good of him.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see these two teams keep playing matches. I think Fam, once Elias gets on that Galio and they can play a bit more of that straight 5v5 team fight. They looked much stronger that game, but there were still some missed shot calls, like the running to Baron when Elder spawns.
That one was pretty questionable.
But yeah, and IQ, they're always an exciting team to watch because you never have any idea what the hell they're going to do in game. Yeah. So.
That was a hell of a series to watch.
Yeah. Ooh. All right. I guess we can hop up there real quick.
Yep. Gun immediately melted. Holy shit.
Yeah, well.
That was crazy.
Good games, guys.
Thanks for casting, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
You had
The-
you
this-
had the pain or enjoyment of casting that second game.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
God.
I mean, it's definitely both.
That might be the longest beer league game
It's up
ever.
there. Oh my god.
Yeah, it might be.
We're playing hide and seek with Rihi. We're just trying not to die.
Yeah.
Bad time
Yeah.
all around.
Like the first game felt really fucking like
We got
stompy,
destroyed.
We got,
the first
yeah,
game.
like we got destroyed.
We
and
had
then all of a sudden,
nothing.
like, all of a sudden, just like the second game felt like what? Like the fucking change of the environment, man.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say we lost that one in draft.
yeah, it felt like it.
Yeah,
We
you
had a
guys just
chance though, so
yeah.
Definitely a harder one when there's, 3 meatballs and the only person that you can really face check with is Volibear, who you don't want to
Yeah.
die
Yeah.
because you want him for the objective.
I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever had more stacks in a game
That's
of Senna
very-
ever. That was nuts.
pretty
I know.
scary.
What did you end with?
It's like, all right,
I
guys,
had like
look out for
170 at
this.
the end of the game.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
I just
Game
stopped
2, I got
CSing and I'm
like
just like, alright,
40.
guess we're gonna
Wait, does Senna infinitely stack?
Yeah.
Yep.
She infinitely stacks, her damage infinitely goes up because her crit infinitely scales, and so does her range.
Lamau.
Yeah.
Okay, center
Yeah.
range. Ugh.
Center range, pog.
Yeah, I couldn't even get close to Senna to like play my champion.
Yeah, you did like the best that you possibly could, though.
I had to
Like,
just basically
You,
play.
yeah, you were just like, oh man, I can't do much, but like I'm gonna split push, I'm gonna stall. It was like,
You were
the hand you were
annoying.
dealt
I-
with. You definitely.
You,
did
you
it.
were very
Really
annoying,
good
and I mean that in a good way.
Like on the dragon, I had 2 good Orin ults off onto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
that one
overtaced the
really
one,
turned
and then
it.
we had like the Seraphine that hit us all, and then you stole the Arn, and that
Yeah.
hit us all, and then we're just like, ah.
They were like, yeah, like that's a little ugly.
Yeah.
but like all of my ulties were like cast as like disengage ulties, and they're like, well, it happened to hit everyone, so that's cool. But I'm just trying to live.
I mean, yeah, you stopped an Ornal, like an Ornal bounce
Yeah.
with an ult, and I thought that was really good play.
Yeah,
Um,
we saw that earlier too.
That first game on Gwen though, like it was complete opposite. The first game compared to the second, crazy.
Yeah. The first game we were wondering, like, if the Gwen doesn't get off the ground, then it might be a little hard, because I feel like she doesn't do as much except for split if she's
Yeah.
not doing much, but, like, you were fine.
We got the
We
on
did a
Lux. We're
whole
like,
lot of
okay,
nothing
Lux
the
is really
first game.
scary, so we don't want to give it. So we'll first pick Lux. And even though he's hitting bindings, we don't do anything. It's like,
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
put
I'm
him
like-
on a
I'm just-
playmaker.
Like I'm playing the Victor against Corki. I'm just clearing waves, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
well,
That
And-
Corky
and then
damage,
Corky
even
Corky
early,
Yeah,
someone
that
in
Corky was
Pokemon.
nuts. He was all over the
you were
map.
Yeah,
like
the chick
one-shotting
just
ball,
busted.
or whatever the,
Yeah.
Volibear,
Chick just
yeah.
busted.
package in, kill someone. I'm just sitting here at like
Yeah.
0-2 with like 200
Hacker
CS. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, no, and
Yeah.
it was just like, okay,
You
well,
don't-
we'll give
you
them
shouldn't
one more
expect
dragon.
that.
Sitting here, yeah.
Okay, we'll give them
Dude's
one more
one
dragon.
item.
Alright, well, we'll give them a
Yeah.
Baron. Alright,
It's
well,
fine.
it's 4v5. We gotta force it. That's the
Yep.
game.
Man, Corky, yeah, he's
Oh,
kind of stupid right now.
I just
that
remember
Corki
like
damage.
you guys were. I think it was like the last
Yeah.
push you did the first game. Corky's just firing rockets. One hits Nora for like 60. I'm just like, man, he's got a maw. I was like, I can't do anything.
But
It's
it's
the only
fine, it's
place I get
fine.
fucking bursted, so.
I couldn't even think the
Only
first game.
lose.
I literally was like a deer in fucking headlights. I was like, I did not know
Like a
what
horse.
the fucking. I literally was like, okay.
Guess I'll die.
I like.
Yeah, I
was-
was a little surprised when I just had an animune and I packaged
two-shot.
on full health, full
Yeah.
Hecarim, and I'm like,
Two-shot.
oh, he's just gone. I was like, all right, that's fair. This is a balance.
I remember opening up the score where I was like, he's just got a mana moon.
Yeah, like what,
Literally, I was
what
like,
the
that's a
fuck?
lot of damage.
No, that's a lot of damage.
That bird.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty stupid. Sorry that we banned Samira. We were just really looking forward to the 5 demos.
I told her.
Why, man?
I told her.
I figured there was a chance maybe it gets through.
Like we were thinking like what
I
people
wasn't
would ban against
practicing
us.
it
I'm
at
just like
all.
100 billion
I played it like shit in
you're
my
getting
ranked
banned.
last season. Why did you ban it?
We don't
Fuck
have a
you,
whole lot
that's
to go
why.
off of.
Fuck me, I guess, huh?
We
I
don't
was,
have a
I was
whole
just
lot
like
to go off
100% they're
of.
taking away Samira. I was like maybe
I
I'll get
suppose I should
champions I can
change.
play,
I should
but
change
they're
my
not
thing
giving
so
us
her name's
Samira.
not in my thing, huh?
Yeah, what's your status? Filthy Samira? maybe or
Filthy
something?
Samira player? Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe I should change
Mhm.
that, huh?
Yeah, it's like, basically,
just
I,
do,
I
like-
feel like I have to ban it at this point.
We'll do
Filthy Samir main.
who's like a really shitty
Nope.
AD? Filthy Kog'Maw player. Yeah.
Whoa!
yeah.
He's not
Oh,
better mid
Cog's
anyways.
There you go. Now
ridiculous.
ban Cog. Ban Cog.
No, I
But
can't ban
Kog'Maw is
Cog. I love
insane.
that champ.
Just,
AP
yeah.
Kog'Maw. That
Yeah,
champ
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
slaps.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
exactly. Ban it.
Yeah. No, you're right. Well, we already played them, so AP Cog fucking slaps.
It's our secret. Just
I actually like
Yeah.
AP Cog.
It's a secret
you-
tag.
but-
Who do you guys play next week?
We play
Us.
Team?
FF.
I'm gonna
Sounds
head
Or is
out.
it?
Hello?
Wait.
Reese.
Yeah, we
Oh,
play FF.
we're after
We
you
play
guys.
F. We play FF.
Yep.
Just wait. Next
Out.
time when you
Oh,
guys
okay.
play, I won't be there. It'll be Tom.
I'm heading out.
You never
so,
know.
I just want to say
But
GG.
probably.
Yeah,
Troy,
I mean,
good games.
GG's.
GG. Good games, guys.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah, baby.
Woo!
Yeah.
One,
One
one,
man
that's why
win.
we.
A 1-1 split is a-okay with me. After
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
first game.
especially after that first game.
The first game I was like,
Jesus.
holy shit,
Yeah.
that was not good.
Yeah, I just drank some G Fuel, or so I didn't, but could you imagine if I did though? Just God, pure gamer energy coursing through my veins. Unreal.
Game 2 is like the closest game I've ever seen for having a person who's literally.
Wait.
Oh my
on an
God.
We'll see
11.
you guys around. Thank you.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah. Wait,
Well,
I inted
see ya.
for fucking Senna with GA. Okay, GG. Yeah, that was...
It looked really good, and I was like, oh no, we've shifted
Yeah,
Oh
you're,
it.
my
you're coming back, but
If you would just like ulted and then been like, all right, let's see if that makes them back off completely or whatever.
I
Like,
don't know. Yeah.
That's
I
a
was
classic
I was
Ezreal
so
move,
panicked
right?
Happens.
when I was so
Yeah.
panicked when Rihi went around the back of our Nexus or
Yeah.
around the back of the Nexus. I missed my stun and then like hit R and I completely blanked on Zanya. I was like, oh shit!
Oh.
That was
I died for no reason.
Yeah, it's like trying to at least buy some time, maybe sneak some Nexuses.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were
Nexuses.
we
yeah,
like,
if I could just grab a couple
we
Nexuses.
kept our Ornn back, and it was like I'm scared he's just gonna pop out of nowhere and just take the inhibs. Like, are you right? And then we see Rihi, and we're just like, oh shit! We
He's
chase
right
him
next
through our
to me.
blue, don't see him, and then we
Man.
see him in the top lane.
If that had been like 30 seconds later, we could have taken Dragon, but we were just standing in Dragon Pit like, come on,
Mhm.
spawn. Come on, spawn.
I
we're
was
not gonna
hoping it would
spawn."
stall long enough for the spawn, then you guys could
Yeah.
probably take it, but then
He literally stalled for
Not
like
quite.
30 seconds, and it still wasn't long enough. Oh.
Bro, that game went on so long. Our death timers were 75 seconds. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you're dead forever.
Yeah.
No, GG's. I'm also
Yeah,
peaced out.
GG.
Sounds good. Yeah, good games. Fun
Yep, yep.
ones.
Bye.
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 Alright, let's see what's going
Same
on.
problem.
Dead zone.
The old dead zone. Wait, okay. Is this easier to